Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic, here with another special video. We finally have all of the cards from Kaldheim spoiled, so we're going to take a look at some of the best new cards from the set for the best format, Commander. Before we get to our top picks, there are a lot of new legendary creatures this set, so we can't mention all of them. So, a blanket honorable mention goes to the Flip Gods. These new creatures let us do something we haven't been able to do before, and that is play non-creature, non-planeswalkers in the command zone. Being able to have a Halvar, God of Battle, as your commander, but play him as an equipment? Amazing! Being able to play Essica, God of the Tree, but have a 5-color enchantment in the command zone? Unheard of. Being able to play Cosima, God of the Voyage, but having reliable access to a vehicle at all times? Incredible! These badass cards all offer spectacular new build-around options for Commander and let us do things we never thought we could. I just wish we had more of these in multiple colors. Currently, there are just 3 of these Flip Gods that are more than 1 color. I'm looking forward to seeing what Wizards does with this concept in the future. Another honorable mention goes to the snow spells. I personally really want to like snow in Commander, but I feel things are very thin here. It requires you to build with snow lands in mind, and snow basics become a hinge of your gameplay. Your options for staples that synergize with your game plan are just about nil because there are no good snow staples. I don't think it'll stop me from trying to build around Jorn, God of Winter, but I don't have high hopes for snow in Commander just yet. Another honorable mention goes to the art on these sagas. Can I just say, the art for these sagas is breathtaking. And the creativity in medium, from carved wood to tattoos, shows that the range of options for Magic to explore when it comes to their visual representation is fathomless. Kudos on the creativity, Wizards and all of the amazing artists that have worked on these pieces. I can't wait to see more. And the last honorable mention goes to, well, just the blanket mechanic of Foretell. Foretell is spell morph, I guess is the best way to describe it, but it's a fantastic new angle to the format that really ups the what do they have up their sleeve factor. In particular, I think Instance and Flash Foretell cards like Glorious Protector, Rise of the Dreadmarn, and Mystic Reflection will be incredibly useful and see a lot of play in various decks. Now, a pair of dishonorable mentions. First is Finn the Fangbearer. This 2-mana legendary creature is great for Death Touch Tribal, turning all of your creatures with Death Touch into poisonous monsters. All it takes is 5 unblocked attackers and you take an opponent out very, very quickly. But he's mono green, and I feel like that's a big miss. This limits his use in our format since the significant majority of Death Touchers are black. I would have loved to seen Finn here as a Golgari, because that would be a deck I would have built immediately. A great budget Death Touch tribal deck. The second dishonorable mention goes to Tergrid, God of Fright. I was very excited to see Tergrid because her baseline value floor is so massively high and can be very broken in Commander. However, that's exactly why I don't like her now. Her effect is oppressive and lopsided, and the aim of a deck that built around Tergrid is so linear that gameplay is unfun. Your aim is to ensure your opponents sacrifice and discard everything, which you then collect. It is too easy to do in Commander, and I can see a lot of groups soft banning Tergrid as a commander. In the 99 of a deck like Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger, absolutely. But as a commander, I know I'd ask you to play something else. Now, getting into our top 5, and in no particular order, I want to start with Reflections of Lichara. This is basically a new staple in any tribal deck capable of running blue. We've seen this effect before in red with temporary copies like Molten Echoes, or with coin flips like Mirror March, but this is guaranteed and assured to not only create you a copy, but a copy that sticks around forever. What this does that other copies may not is copy tribal spells. This is a rare corner case, but name Fairies and get 2 Bitter Blossoms. Name Eldrazi and get 2 Eldrazi Conscription. Name Shaman and get 2 Thornbite Staff. Wizards showed us that we can copy permanent spells with the recent Lithiform engine, and I'm excited to see them play with this concept further. But naturally, I'm excited to name Shapeshifter and get more clones. And more clones. And more clones. But speaking of clones, number 4 on the list goes to Orvar the Allform. This new mythic shapeshifter is like a Zada Hedron grinder, but in blue that makes copies of targeted permanents. This is fantastic and opens up all kinds of deck building options around a mono blue list set to make copies of creatures with their enter the battlefield effects. Target an Archaeomancer with a spell, get a copy of Archaeomancer, return that spell to your hand. And that's just the value floor on this puppy. Note that Orvar's triggered ability says permanents, not just creatures. That means spells that target a land can make an additional land. That's blue ramp. Or make copies of big splashy enchantments like a Mind's Dilation by casting a spell that bounces the original back to your hand. Expect buyback cards that target, like Whim of Volrath or Mind Games, to crawl up in price thanks to this guy. Repeatable effects that target permanents are this deck's bread and butter. I'd also expect Orvar here to show up in the 99 of quite a few decks too. Getting multiple copies of certain cards in Commander can be very broken. At number 3 on our list is a tie for both Maskwood Nexus and Pyre of Heroes. First, Pyre of Heroes. Getting to tutor up creatures every turn is just straight busted. Straight busted! Effects like Birthing Pod and Survival of the Fittest are incredible effects, and one-time effects like Eldritch Evolution and Neoform are even seen in very high power play. While this has the restriction of being tribal, it is colorless and fits into any and every tribal deck that has been built or will be built forever and ever. Grab this if you have or are planning on having a tribal deck. It's a must-have. And it's for that same reason Maskwood Nexus shares this spot. For too long, only blue and black have had effects of making everything in your library and in play specific creature types. Arcane Adaptation, Xenograft, and Conspiracy. But now, every color and every deck can get access to this. This opens up amazing options for tons of decks. Red, green, and white decks can now make all their creatures every creature type and get synergies, with an activated ability that makes more creatures. These two are everything you want for tribal decks, so make sure to grab them if you're making anything centered around a specific creature type. At number 2 on our list is Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. Phyrexians are back, baby! Vorinclex lost a bit of weight since his previous incarnation, but is faster than ever. A 6/6 trample haste for 6 is a fantastic rate on its own for any creature. But wait, what's this? Vorinclex is a doubling season you can have in the command zone? That's right, welcome to Consistency City Population Commander. This doubles loyalty counters, +1/+1 counters, charge counters, you name it. Vorinclex wants to see more. Well, more of your counters. He also reduces the number of counters your opponents create. So if your opponents want to create 1+1/+1 counter, well, Vorinclex here reduces that to 0 counters. So yes, both a counter doubler and a counter hate card in the command zone on a big beefy body. It is just ridiculously good. And finally, at number 1 on our list is the cycle of uncommon lands. Gates of Istfell, Immersturm Skullcairn, Notvold Slumbermound, and the rest. Yes, these enter tapped. Yes, they only make 1 color of mana. But wow, are the effects on these lands powerful. Many of them staple 2 spell effects together onto a single land, ranging from a Pyroclasm plus Scry 2 to targeted removal and a Raise the Alarm, through to a tutor for an equipment and an aura. These are fantastic spot fillers for our format. Late game, when you're low on cards, you'll always have an option. Or you may be able to fake an opponent out of a play they wanted to make. This is utility and a rattlesnake ability all on a land. I expect these to become regulars in many decks that can run them based solely on this utility. I am a big fan of the Threshold lands from Odyssey for the same reason, and that logic applies here too. Snap these up to have in your collection. So overall, I think the set has some real winners and opens up some great design options for the future. Wizards really push some new boundaries in this set, and I personally am thrilled by it. If you're looking to pre-order any cards from Kaldheim, head on over to our Canadian affiliate Hairy Tarantula and use our promo code CMDR Space Mechanic at checkout to help support the channel. So what do you think of Kaldheim? What are you excited for? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, good luck and have fun.